Howdy folks, how y'all doing today? You are back with Big CheeZ Valheim 101, episode 3, and we are just about to learn how to get hardened antlers, okay? Now, if you have been playing along at home, you will have grabbed a hell of a lot of deer hide, I imagine, and in that quest on hunting all these deer, you will probably have grabbed a couple of trophy heads, okay? Now those trophy heads are used to summon in Eikthyr, alright? Eikthyr is the first god of the game. Eikthyr represents a badass stag with lightning powers who has had way too much coffee today, which is why he's in a bad mood. He's also pretty pissed with us because we killed a lot of his buddies. Once we've killed Eikthyr, quite that easily, it won't be quite that easy, okay, don't worry, like I said, weaponry, don't worry, it's an upgrade, alright? Once you killed him, you will get access to Elder Trophy, absolutely. You'll also get hardened antlers, right? Now, hardened antlers will be the first thing that you need in order to make what we have called a pickaxe. Okay, your first pickaxe, antler pickaxe. Okay, antler pickaxe is what you need in order to get metal. Okay, now where you get metal is pretty simple, okay? You get metal from dark woods, from the deep dark woods, all the way over here. Okay, Black Forest, sorry. From the Black Forest. It was helpful if I told you the right place, wouldn't it? From the Black Forest. Now, when you try to go in the Black Forest the first time, hug in the little raven dude who pops up and gives you warnings or advice now and again. Will tell you, probably not good idea to go in there until you have beaten Eikthyr, okay? The first boss, all right? And that's pretty good advice, all right? Once you can beat Eikthyr, you know, you're pretty well set to be able to kick ass with the Grey Dwarfs, okay? My first time I went into the Black Forest, I went in there before I beat Eikthyr, and I got mauled. I got mullered, frankly, within about 2 seconds. So yeah, probably, you know, best to listen to him. And also, there is no real point in going into the Dark Forest until you have beaten Eikthyr, because you really need the pickaxe, the hardened antlers, okay? What you can find in the Black Forest is tin and copper, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly where to find both, okay? But the first thing I'm going to show you is where to get something called core wood. All right, core wood is your kind of secondary, your next stage of wood evolution, shall we say. Now, it allows you to build longer poles, so I can show you that real quickly. So if we go over here, we have things called, the long pole is 4 meters, we have this pole as well. These are supposed to be stronger, I believe. They're stronger versions of support structures, which should make it easier to build, theoretically. You can't do quite as much with them in terms of like the branching off one, the diagonal ones, but they are still very strong, and they look kind of pretty too, okay? So if you kind of like that look, if you kind of like the aesthetic they bring, it's quite nice as well, which I do personally. I prefer the look of the core poles, but they are a bit of a pain in the ass to get because they always are in dark woods, and generally there's a lot of Grey Dwarfs around, okay, which is not fun, frankly. As you can see, they are wailing on my ass, but that's fine. Today we are going to take it and deal with you, all right? Now, core wood comes from trees like this, okay? So this is pine trees, right? Any trees that will be just long, thin, don't see any leaves until you get to the top, they'll be the ones that give you your core wood. So you grab your axe. Okay, this is still a stone axe, so this is going to take a little bit of time. If you have been smart, like I wasn't for this episode, and you have your flint axe, this will take a little bit shorter time. But either way, these trees take a good whacking. But eventually, they will come down. That would have been perfect. This axe sucks. All right, there we go, okay? As I said before, don't get hit. But this, I've got to chop it again. Okay, great. Yeah, the pine trees will give you the wood that you need, okay? Core wood is very handy for a few things. You also need it for kind of some of the heavier end weaponry later on. So do make sure, if you do want to do fancy it, okay, do a core wood trip, fill up a whole chest of core wood. It will be worth it, I guarantee you. You will be saving a lot of time for yourself later on. But, okay, core wood is only one thing, okay? It's only one part of why you came out here, okay? The real reason you came out here is for copper and tin, right? Right, okay. So I'm gonna show you where to find that, okay? Now, generally, if you've got a world like mine, okay, you'll have Black Forest divided on one side and the other. All right. It may mean that on one side of the forest, on one side of the forest line, there won't be a whole lot of stuff that you will actually need. All right. For me, the only thing I end up finding on one side of it is the pine trees, and that's not too bad. It means I don't have to go across the water. I don't have to get wet. I don't have to really worry too much. But it does mean, however, that wood, tin and copper are not on the side that I need to be, okay? For copper, we're looking for big mounds like this, but with shiny little veins going through them. So obviously not that one, okay? And it will tell you, don't you worry, okay? You don't really have to keep an eye out for too much, okay? It will make it quite obvious which ones are copper deposits. That's what they're called, by the way, copper deposits. But in our case, I think we are gonna have to run across, and that's gonna be fine. That's not a big deal. But give me 2 seconds and I'll show you. Okay, so first up, tin. Okay, so nice and easy to find. Tin is basically the flint of the Black Forest. And what I mean by that is that tin you will always find along the shoreline in these little deposits. Okay, so you get a pickaxe out, smack it 3 times, Generally, tin gives itself up very easy. It's very easy. So very, come on, don't really look, there we go. So you get like 3 or 4 pieces of tin per one you break, okay? But however, don't load yourself down with a lot of tin, okay? You will need more copper than you will tin. Tin doesn't get used for a whole lot, unfortunately. Most of tin gets used in order to make bronze, which I will show you in a moment. But sticking to the shoreline, you will find plenty of tin. So again, we find some more there. We will probably find some more up ahead. And we also find that chonking behemoth, okay? So that is a troll. Okay, trolls will populate the Black Forest pretty regularly, and as you can see, he is standing in front of a troll cave. Okay, now trolls will give you troll hide. I know, no duh, right? But troll hide represents the next stage in armor. So you go from rags for your very basic, okay? Then you go into leather for your deer hide ones. Troll hide will be the very next one. Trolls come in 2 forms, right? They'll come in the rock throwing type, like this guy is, and they'll come into the log club swinging guy, which thankfully this guy is not with his fluffy butthole. So with trolls, you'll get troll hide, you'll get some coins, you also get troll head, okay? Very handy stuff. You won't use a lot of it right away. You won't use the coins until you meet a seller, a buyer, and the heads you won't use for a little while soon after. The heads and stuff, they kind of get used. Not all of them get used for summoning, which is what most of them do though. Some of them get used as just trophy mounts, so you can make a little plaque on the wall or something like that later on, and you can stick that beautiful head on it. I will show you that eventually. It is horrifying, frankly. It is huge, it's horrifying, but as you can see in there, that would be a troll cave. We're not going to bother messing around with that one, because obviously we don't really need to re-emphasize the fact that that's where you get troll hides, okay? But yeah, troll hide, you kill trolls. No duh, right? 5 points if you got that one, although that is freaking generous. Now, what we are looking for is, like I said, copper, okay? Copper is on big mounds like that one. This is also where you get blueberries, while I'm just swinging that in. But if I can find some, I'm hoping I can find some, because otherwise this is pain in the ass. But this is what I mean. The Black Forest, there we go, right here, okay? Black Forest doesn't have, it can have a lot of copper in it, okay? But again, it doesn't really refresh. So once you've mined it all, that is kind of the end of it. And I have done, unfortunately, I've done a lot on my game. So there is a fair few points where the copper deposits have just been mined up like crazy. But copper deposits, because they're bigger, they don't give you quite as much as tin do, okay? So when you're taking one out, if I can do it in this turn, I hope, like that, okay? So actually there, we got 1 piece of copper ore for that. Not great, all right? When you are making anything, when you are getting into bronze, okay, which I highly advise you do, I highly advise you just skip right past copper, just go straight for bronze. You will have to have 2 for 1, okay? So it takes 2 pieces of copper for 1 piece of bronze, 1 piece of tin in order to make a bronze plate. Okay, you will need a lot of bronze in order to get weaponry that you are really happy with that can kick some serious ass. But yeah, that's for later on. Now, okay, what else is to be done? Okie dokie, folks, welcome to my forge. It's a little bit cramped in here, but to be fair, it does the job. I don't really need to do a whole lot, because I'm not in here a whole lot of the time. But okay, so first thing we need, before we kind of get into actually making the wood, is we need coal, okay? You make coal, easiest way to do it is by loading up your charcoal kilns with wood, like so. And you will need a lot of coal, which is why I have 2. To support 2 of these burners, you really need about 4, but this will, I don't do a whole lot of metal stuff, so this is fine for me. But once you have your coal, okay, you will grab your tin or your copper, so we'll take both, all right? You go over to your little burners, okay, and here you put this side, you put in the coal. The other side, you'll put in the ore, okay? So we'll add in the copper ore. This one is probably going to take the copper ore as well, so we're just going to take this one and chuck it over there real quick. I don't have any coal, of course I don't, because that would be that'd be too smart. Sorry, this side, my bad. So this side we'll put in the tin, okay, and then once we put in our coal, we will start burning. So we'll do 2 in there, and 2 in there. So for every 2 pieces of coal, roughly, you will get 1 piece of smelted tin or smelted copper back out, okay? Now that's fine for us, that will work for us for now. We'll put those back in there just for the moment. I'll take the copper and stuff, and I'll also take that. There we go, cool, lovely, wonderful. I mean, I'll take the coal and stuff, that's what I meant. Right, okay, so that's done, okay? So that shows you how to make copper and get it all smelted up, right? If you don't want to have these things going, you can just have your little fireplace things going, and if you don't take your meat off there, it will turn to coal. So there is that, okay? I mean, they haven't actually kind of perfectly worked out, but it's fine, you get the picture, right? So you put wood in there, it will turn it into coal. You'll take your coal, you'll put it in the burners, you'll take your ore and you put it in the burners too, and then that will turn it into coal and tin. Okay, we'll just hopefully get one. There you go. See, like that. All right, just like that. Okay, and then pow. Exactly like that, okay? So at least you can see that that actually does work. But that's how you do your smelting, that's how you make your metals and everything like that. Now, what I'm going to show you next is how to make bronze. So we're going to take all this stuff. I'm carrying too much by quite a bit. We'll get rid of that. That's not enough. We'll get rid of all of that stuff. I don't need any of this stuff on me right now. That'll do. Wonderful. Right, so we've got a few bits of copper, we've got a few bits of tin. Now we want to get into bronze, okay? Don't you worry about this place. I will show you how to make something like this in another video. But we have a forge, okay? Now, forge comes under your little crafting, okay? So you have all your work stuff anyway. You have your upgrades and stuff like that for it. But for a forge, all you need is coal, stone, wood, and copper. Okay, this is one of the reasons why you need to make sure you have more copper than tin, because the forge doesn't take any tin to actually get started. It just takes a bit of copper. All right, but once you have it, you're cracking, you're laughing, you're in hog's heaven. Okay, so let's get the thing away. We'll go over to our forge and we have this. Okay, you turn, so two, like I said, 2 pieces of copper, 1 piece of tin makes 1 piece of bronze. All right, we'll whack that together as our little 10. You can smack that out, and that will allow us to make all sorts of bronze material. Okay, once you get the first piece, you'll have learned how to make bronze, and it'll tell you can make bronze nails, bronze armor, weapons. It'll allow you to make cultivator, bronze axe, all sorts of stuff. And bronze pickaxe as well. So bronze pickaxe will help make mining quicker. And like I said on the very first little 101 of these I did, go with the tools first, okay? Get your pickaxe and get your axe first, okay? Because that'll make wood cutting much easier, and that will make mining much easier, okay? Once you've got those 2 things, and definitely go with this first, by the way, okay? Like I said, tool and weapon in one, it is the best thing to go for, okay? So grab that when you're ready, and then you've got your next tool, which we'll get on to how to use right now. Okay, we've done most of the other materials at this point, right? We have done everything. And as you've been running around the world, you probably have noticed these white trees, and you will have noticed that you can't cut them down until now. Okay, bronze axes, this is why you should go with this first, because it will allow you to cut this down no problem, right? Once you have got this, you can cut it down a bit further. Okay, I'll separate into 2 in a second, right, like it does, and this will give you something called fine wood. All right, fine wood is your next step up in terms of wood. All right, we have gone through core wood, we've gone through the next stage of that already. We're already up to fine wood, but this will allow you to make this. Okay, this is your carve, your first boat. All right, your first proper boat. Don't even try with the raft to sail across the seas or anything like that. You will drown, you will die. The carve is your best bet. Okay, but you do need a chunk of fine wood in order to make it. You also need a lot of bronze nails. All right, but trust me, it is so worth it. Okay, but like I said, bronze axe is the way to go. Okay, it will allow you to get onto fine wood easier, quicker. It'll make wood cutting much easier, so you can get on to actually building something that you'll be happy with and you'll love. This axe will also allow you to cut down the really thick trees if you want them, the thick trees if you really want to get rid of them. Personally, I like having them around, which is why I've kind of got one in the middle of my base. But yeah, like I said, easier with the bronze axe, easier to kind of do all this stuff once you've got the tools to ready to do it. Okay, the only last thing I will say is, and it kind of comes in tier 2, but we've kind of been killing them the whole time anyway, is grey dwarf eyes. Okay, grey dwarf eyes are needed for this. Right. This is the fast travel method in Valheim, okay? There is no jumping around the map or anything like that until you get a portal. Right? Portals have to be linked together with the same name or anything like that between bases and that kind of thing, right? You can have one end connected to another end, so you will have to have multiple ones. But when you go off exploring the first time, this is the easiest way, okay? So this is kind of a little tip for you guys, right? Before you go off exploring the first time, make sure you have enough circling cores in order to build one at your main base and one at whatever base you set up on another island or another place, okay? In my example, right, I went off around here, okay, fought the Elder down here, okay, and I've got a new base over here somewhere, down here, I think. Unfortunately, I didn't mark it. I think it's like there, base 2. I don't know, we'll call it that. I haven't really done anything with it yet, but yeah, it's somewhere around there. I've got another portal set up around there, okay, and in my home base, my portal looks like that. Okay, so it activates when it's like that. I think it's a beautiful little night light as well when it's on. It's a very nice little feature, but it's linked to a base over there and makes travel so much easier. You don't have to worry about keep going out onto the open ocean with some big ass thing trying to eat you or something like that. It just makes things so much easier. But grey dwarf eyes, as should be easy to, and obvious to kind of to all of you guys, because you would have killed enough of them by now. When you kill grey dwarfs, you do have a very high chance of getting grey dwarf eyes. I think it's like the ones that don't give you to it is the little greylings, but most of the other ones, grey dwarfs, grey brutes, grey dwarf shaman, they all give you grey dwarf eyes. So there you go. Okay, that's your tier 2 stuff. All right. The only other thing I will say, and this is more of a decorative thing, okay, is one of the other things you can make once you start getting onto metal and everything like that, is you can make banners. Okay, nice little banners for your place, all right? And banners come under 3 colors at the moment, or when you get started. There will be a few other colors as we get going, but they come under 3 colors at the moment. So as you can see, coal is what's needed for the black ones, okay? So that's nice and easy. We've been through how to get all of that stuff for the first one. And again, you need fine wood for that. And blue ones need blueberries, okay? And your best place to find blueberries is in the Black Forest. As you've seen, there have been plenty of blueberry bushes. You can pick them like crazy and get enough of what you need for the blue banners, okay? For the last one, for the white and red ones, you need raspberries, okay? Again, you would have been grabbing these like crazy since our first little episode, okay? Raspberries are one of the most common forms of food in this game, and you can grab them like crazy out of the meadows. But that's how you get the ingredients you need for your little banners as well. But I hope this has been helpful, guys. This is tier 2 exploration stuff. I hope it's been good for you. I hope it's been useful. I really do. I mean, the first one probably has been useful for more certain cores and stuff like that, but this should kind of just give you a bit of an idea of maybe what to do in terms of progress, what to focus on, what to maybe grab, but I hope this has helped. I've been Big CheeZ. If you are enjoying these, then please check some cheddar on that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have more videos of these coming up very soon. Next one will be kind of more advanced building methods and stuff like that, and I've also got a combat one coming out too as well, kind of going over what the best weapons are and or what the perks are of certain ones. So we've got obviously axe, we've got sword, we've got mace, we've got pole arms, we've got shields, we've got spears, we've got all sorts of stuff to go over. But like I said, I hope you've had a great day today, guys. I hope you come back very soon for some more Valheim 101. I've been Big CheeZ. Have a great day out there. Keep looking after each other. Stay cheesy, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.